How's everybody doing? Now we're live. Hello. I don't know who's here. Anybody here? Say hello. Looks like this is going to go. Yeah, everything's working. So, how's everybody doing anyway? Anybody been out detecting, doing the daily exercise? We've not been out detecting, but we've got one or two videos ready to go because we went down to one a week for some a few weeks ago. We weren't getting out, but fortunately it's worked in my favour. I've got one, if you saw it on Facebook, Buster was out and about and he got let's see what I can do. Why is it not working? Why can I not see anything? Somebody say something. Casper's, hi. Oh, it's all of a sudden everything's decided to work. Right. So yeah, we've got one or two videos coming. Buster found his first bit of gold with the Vanquish. We've got that video to come. Also, another one with the Equinox where I was getting some deep signals and took the CTX. That ended in absolute disaster. Pestwhacker, hi to you. Hang on, see if we can do it this way. We're giving away some stuff on the website live. On the website live, we're giving away a load of Minelab stuff on there this week because we're being Suffolk Searcher. Hi to you. Yes, absolutely spot on. Bored shitless, stuck at home, but you know what it's like. I've got four lawns. We're going to detect them, but you know, what is the world come to? I don't know. I'll see if we can reply. I don't know. Everything seems to slow down. I know. Mark Richards, hi, you're live. Going okay? Yeah, I think it's going okay. The internet seems to slow down a lot. I've got a hell of a lot of lag. But how is everybody doing anyway? Let us know how you're doing. That's alright, it's a smoker's cough, nothing to do with that. But I've not seen, I've been stuck in the house and the garden. I went shopping, couldn't get a lot. So living on what food we've got. One or two pigeons coming in the garden, so there may be one or two of them on the menu. How's everybody coping? Okay, I hope. Yeah, so as I say, Buster found his first gold last week with the Vanquish. You may have seen the pictures on Facebook, I don't know. But if we're going to do another live one maybe in the week, now we've got all this time. So if you want to send your finds in, we've got three already. Las Palmas Detection. Good evening to you as well, sir. From sunnier climes. I know Spain's locked down because my mother lives there and she's locked down big time. A lot more than we have in the UK. Dirt Devil Dave is fine. Thanks for asking, Dave Gaskill. Hi to you. MS Detectors, evening. Stir crazy already. After 3 weeks, we've had we've been more or less locked down for 1 week. I don't do indoors. So yeah, I know one or two of my friends in Florida and Ohio they've been locked down for a while, but you know, you don't get to talk to many people. It's stir crazy. Just watched something on television about the Vikings, but that's been on before. Seen that before. Hang on. Reply to message. So, anybody got any good finds? If you got some good finds, send them here. myfind@paulc.co.uk, and we'll try and get them in some live videos in the week. Hi, Andrew Mitchell. Fed up already? Hang on. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just seems to be boring sitting home. Yes, it's. I've got 4 lawns. Grass wants cutting, so I don't know how to go around, detect them. One with each detector, dig the lawns up. I know my gardener will go absolutely spare if there's holes all over it. But what else? What else do you do? I know last weekend when me and Buster we met at the lifeboat station Sunday morning. There was that many people. Let me just answer a question. Mark Richards, how do you compare the Vanquish 540 Pro against the Equinox 800? More or less the same. The Vanquish 540, obviously not waterproof, but it's the same software as the Equinox, not as many settings. Joe Brown, hi to you. Ralph, thanks for joining us from Ohio. But Mark, yeah, more or less the same. Plus you've got the choice of the coils. But yeah, it really is. And if you saw the fantail brooch I got, we was out in wet weather. Not had the cover on the Vanquish. Found a nice late Roman fantail brooch with it got absolutely wet through. That was 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it will be because we haven't been out all flipping week. So yeah, it got wet, but it's not waterproof. But you can go as long as you wade in. Like I said, there's 90% of. Yeah, I remember the state. You can go in the water with a Vanquish as long as you don't go under the control box, get the control box wet. And how many people with a waterproof detector actually detect to its full potential? Not many people go in the water. Hang on, we've got somebody from Florida. I'll swap you at this minute. The sunny Florida for flipping. It's absolutely chucking it down here. Pensacola, Florida. I was watching Smithsonian Channel today. That was in Florida. Do you a swap any day? That's how boring it is up here watching the Smithsonian Channel. So yeah, if you've got some finds, we'll try and squeeze some live ones in during the week. myfind@paulc.co.uk. Send them there. Bit of a description of what detector you was using, what it is, so we can talk about it, and of course some pictures. Everybody likes to see pictures. Tinks 4063, hello, stopping by to leave a like, thank you. Digging it back, no, leave it here. Okay. Oh right, yeah, I've got you. No, I didn't. No, I meant swap place for place. You can come over here for 3 weeks, but there's some people getting locked down for months on end. My dad is because he's of a certain age now. He's like me, don't do indoors, but they've given him a 3-month. He's got to stop indoors for 3 months. It's going to drive him nuts. He usually rides 50 mile a day on his push bike, but. Yeah, Buster got gold. You always find something good, Ralph. You always find something good. You just got to practice with the Equinox. It's not the AT Max anymore. But yeah, it's bored waiting for Las Palmas Detector, waiting for the new update on the Equinox. Which update is that? What you waiting for? It's all working fine at the minute. I don't know. I don't know which update you refer to. But yeah, it was supposed to have Detectable next weekend. I was really looking forward to that. So this morning we did some cooking in the garden. That went tits up. So made a video on that. I was going to do a full English breakfast, but that went absolutely pants. Last weekend we found a good spot before we got shut down. Found it with the Equinox and 15-inch car. So I took the CTX out, got it there. That ended in mass disaster. But a few days left. If you're on Minelab in Depth on Facebook, the find of the month. Can't see it because of my fat head. Find of the month, Minelab in Depth. A few days left on that to get entered in that, and then I think we will possibly have to give that a miss until everybody's back in the same boat out detecting. Pretty crappy situation we're all in at the minute. I don't personally know anybody with the coronavirus, but where I live, don't look directly into my eyes or steal his soul. No, mine went long ago. There's, I think, 2 confirmed cases. That's it. But people are acting like absolute prunes. So yeah, all metal detecting rallies have been cancelled. I was really looking forward to Detectable, but keep up the lives while we're locked in. Yeah, but some people just don't listen. They're just going out doing the normal day to day thing. Hi Iffy Signals. Yeah, it was a bit spontaneous, this live stream, but because I'm that fed up, I thought I'd just drop in and say hello. 1,400 new cases. Yeah, I see the USA has got it big time, haven't they? Macclesfield Magpie, hi to you. Just got into metal detecting, just a coin master. Do you much about this machine? Got into metal detecting. Do you know much about this machine? Any advice using it would be helpful. Thank you. No, I don't know a lot about it, but I can find out about it and then I can tell you about it. But like any, just make sure you don't go too high on your sensitivity. You don't discriminate too much, and you swing it nice and slow. Start off in your garden, get a handful of coins, listen to the tones. And get used to it. Then practice. Start off digging everything. Wildwood, hope. I guess our hobby's kind of screwed. Yes, it is. Yeah, the only people going to the beach are the Muppets. If you look on the news, I saw on our local news tonight, Skegness, it was empty, but you can't. I'm not going to the beach. It's not worth it. Never seen so many cars on the road, Joe. When I go to get fast food, you're lucky you can go get fast food. All ours are shut. Absolutely shut. So if you like a baked bean diet, like I say, I did this morning. I tried to cook. I thought practice for my camping. we'll get the camping stove out. We'll do some bacon, egg, beans, sausages, full English breakfast. It went tits up. Ended up bad. But yeah, thanks for you lot that's already joined us. It's nice to see you all here. A few unfamiliar names, but I'm sure in the future we'll see a bit more of you. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Like I said, if you was on the website in the week, we did a live stream on there. Just a bit of a mess about. We give away some digging tools and a couple of Mind Lab pouches and that. But we'll try and do more on YouTube. Like I say, if you've got a find you want to send in, obviously it's not going to be a recent one. Send it there. We'll do a live stream in the week if we can get enough. I've got 3. I think Joe Allen sent one a bit ago, and there's a Scottish one of the hoarder coins, and somebody else sent one in. So we'll do that for you. But send it there, myfind@paulc.co.uk. We'll do some live streams. 15-inch on my 800 make a big difference. Yeah, it does on the Equinox. It's a good one. That's just been held for review. Yeah. Joe Brown on did Wednesday and Thursday. I'll guess you've not been to the casino then, Ralph. But what's everybody doing during the day to pass the time? Cleaning fines? I don't clean them, to be honest with you. Oh, did you see you'll have all seen? I don't even know where it's gone now. It's gone. Did you see that? A fantail brooch. Nice brooch that. That was with a Vanquish the other week. Little hammered coin. You may have seen the video. You may not have done. I don't know. Little hammered coin. Cut half. Couple of Romans. Don't know. What got fines all over. Cleaned up 1 or 2. I can't wait to get back down here. We've got now CMD South. We're opened down there. I was hoping to get away bank holiday weekend. Casinos closed. Blimey. What are you doing? Online casinos. So yeah, that's about it. It was more or less dropping by, make sure everybody's okay, and let you know what I'm doing. Like I said before, I've got a couple of videos ready to go, and one we made this morning of cooking. So we'll keep it going once a week, and then we might be able to squeeze one out, a metal detector in the garden, because where I used to live back in the 1800s, it was allotments, and then it's been a fun fair for most of its life up until when was my house built? 20 years ago. It was a fun fair site, a park and a fun fair. So maybe if I can get past all the old building rubbish, we'll find something. Might get some Georgian coins, maybe Victorian coins. I never know. Wildwood Hop. I live at the beach. At least I have a little bit of an advantage now. I only have a go at 300. How long with a white XLT? I can't compete with you, Mind Lab. No, White's XLT, they work very well. But it all depends on whereabouts on the beach you're detecting. Dry sand, if you're doing the dry sand, you can more or less get away with anything. It's no fun. But now Buster's got the Vanquish. Oh my God, I stand no chance. Glenn Walker, hi Paul. My favourite detector, it's still I know I don't use it a lot, but still the CTX 3030 on the wet sand for depth, absolutely phenomenal depth. But you'll have to wait for the video. I'll get it on. It's all edited and uploaded, but I don't want to spam you with videos. Just keep it nice and sweet. But a bit of a disaster with the CTX 3030 last time we took it out. We hit a spot with the Equinox the day before, so that took the CTX 3030 out. Oh no, didn't happen. Suffolk Search, lucky enough to have a garage to shut myself in and carry on doing wood garden stuff. Well, fortunately, I'm all alone. So other people that are supposed to live with me live a long way away, so I don't get to see anybody. So this is quite frustrating. Yesterday was bored digging the garden, find silver French 1950 centimes in Scotland. I tell you what, it's a it's not coronavirus. Surprising what you do find buried wherever. As you find, I mean, I've found French coins where you would never expect to find French coins. It's like medieval hammered coins and that you find them from all parts of the world. It's fascinating hobby. Just a shame it's just screwed at the minute. But yeah. So my favourite detector. To be fair, I've been using the Vanquish more than anything just lately. Oh, yeah, I found some stuff with it, so it works. But yeah, I think CTX for depth on the beach, Equinox general day to day. Still use the Deus, but I only use that very occasionally. And Buster's aborted the Xterra 305 for his Vanquish. He loves it. He can now do the wet sand in peace. I'm absolutely screwed. The beach where I detect gets hammered a lot, and unbelievably you can still. Yes, Wildwood. I don't know whether it's hop, whether it's continental or hoppy. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but yeah, a lot of beaches are like that. They can sand up, and people said to me, "Why you don't find the old coins on there? They're not there." But when you look at people detecting, some people they walk over a beach at 100 mile an hour, and they don't find anything. If you start finding bits and bobs, slow down. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff. Sometimes it'll sand up overnight. Sometimes the sand will come off overnight. You know what it's like. So it's funny. It's funny you should say two air gun pellets in the garden, because I was sighting one up this afternoon on a ping pong ball. Got I've been feeding wood pigeons. I've been tempting them in the garden. Oops, should I say that? Somebody has something against that. Free food. You can't do that. Well, unfortunately, I am. Chill Bill has uploaded a video of him finding a gold hammy. Never found a gold coin ever. Been no gold coin wish list. I don't know whereabouts on my wish list it is, but it's somewhere there. Seen him as well. I was on one of the groups on Facebook the other day. I posted a video when from I think it was 2012, 2013. Somebody dropped a gold stater, so everybody was looking for it at the side of the road, and then it was found inside the car. And then later in the day there was, I think it was a Viking coin found, and that sold for auction for I think it was 43,000 pound. I did a video, but it was back in I think 2012, 2013. Aren't I? I ain't even got a drink. Does anybody want a drink? Get absolutely have a Saturday night party. I wish I had loads of stuff to give away, but as we're all on lockdown, we're not posting a lot out from the shop at the minute. So I've got notes I can say I can give away as much as I'd like to. But still, come on, send me some finds in so we can have a nice little party in the week. I'll see if I can rag together some finds. Send us some finds in. Let's have a little chit chat and show some of your finds off. Anybody ever found a Rolex? May have done. Nuki. Garrett ATX. A long time ago. 6 years ago. But yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have put that picture on there. That was last April. That. Dear me. A year ago. Well, thank you all for dropping in. It's been a pleasure. So if you got some finds, send them to us. My find, I've got 3. I'd like a few more, so we've got a bit more to chit chat about rather than me just blurting on and on and on. Send them there. myfindposse.co.uk. A picture, a bit of a description, what detector, blah blah blah. And we'll do a live stream. We can actually. We've got some very rare prizes. We've got about 320 of them. We can sign toilet roll. Send you some toilet roll. Send you some toilet roll off. Only Jorex. Well, Buster, in the summertime, he likes to go down to the beach early, and he patrols certain areas early in the morning. He patrols certain areas in the morning, and he finds people doing sexy time on the beach. I don't know where he is actually. I thought he'd have popped in tonight to say hello to us. He rung me last night, but I haven't seen him. Since last weekend. But I think we'll wrap it up now, and send your finds in. Blap there. I've got no finds to show you, bar. Well, I don't know where they are, to be honest with you. The coins we found last weekend. I've got a picture somewhere of Buster's. It was a gold pendant he found with the Vanquish. Well, you guys stay safe. Send us your finds in, and we'll do some live streams. Because boy, am I going bored. I'm going absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, stuck inside. So as always, thanks for watching. Take care. Send us your finds. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.